In this video, we're going to take a brief look at some of the snaps that are available in the Anaplan Snap Pack. In particular, we're going to take a look at reading from Anaplan, and then we're going to look at actually moving some data and uploading it into Anaplan. So let's start here with the Anaplan Read. You can see that I've got this configured with my account. I've chosen my workplace using the introspection buttons here. I've chosen the model within Anaplan that I want to read, and I've selected an export ID, which is essentially what Anaplan calls the files that are available for us to read. This is a CSV file, as you can see. So I'm piping that straight through into a CSV parser, where I'm specifying exactly what the file looks like. So if I validate this, you can see that my snaps have gone green, saying we've successfully communicated and we have some sample data here. If I click on this, I can actually see the data that's been returned from Anaplan and get an idea of how that data would be formatted so that I could go on and use it in my pipeline. Now we're going to take a look here at reading from Workday and writing that data into a file in Anaplan. This is a bit more of a real-world scenario, and particularly something like Workday, where we're looking at the workers object. It's a very complex schema that we're retrieving. If we allow this to validate, you'll start to see what I mean. So we can see in here, if I format this as JSON, every record that we get back has got metadata associated with it, and it's actually got the worker data itself, and even within that worker data we've got personal data, which again is quite complex. We've got employment data and we've got compensation data. None of this is flat and none of this is straightforward. So the first thing that I'm going to do with Snaplogic is I'm going to use a JSON splitter snap, so that instead of just taking all of that data and trying to process it, I can select that I don't care about compensation or employment. All I want is this personal data, and that's what I've got selected here. So already we'll start to see that the data is simplified over what we saw a moment ago. Still though, I want to flatten this in order to be able to put it into a CSV file. So through using a mapper snap here, first of all I can specify what data I want, and then I can go and either just select the data from the left hand side, or more likely we want to build this data up. And if we look at the expression builder here, you see I've selected the first name, I've added in a space, and then I've selected the last name. Okay, so nothing fancy here, but rather than having this structured element, I've got a nice simple string that's been written out. And I've done similar things selecting all of these pieces of information. For example, the emails, we could have multiple emails. So what we're saying is, well, actually we just want the first one that's available here. Okay, for the spreadsheet that we're building, that's sufficient. Equally, we could have taken all of them and maybe built a field with them simply separated by a comma, but this is the decision we've taken for this particular demonstration. So once I've got all of this information, all I need to do is to say I want it in a CSV format. Okay, I need to specify how I'm going to do this, and that I want a header. And then I need to specify my Anaplan upload. Again, I select my workspace and my model from the introspection. And in this case, I'm giving it a new file and saying if that file does exist, overwrite it. If not, just create a new one. Now I am also specifying here how I'm separating my data, how I'm quoting my text, okay, as well as the standard. We want to tell this we have a header row, which is row 1. So the first data row will be row 2. Okay, so this is going to validate now. It's going to make sure we can read from Workday. It's going to make sure that we can access Anaplan, and then we can simply execute this. If you're familiar with Snaplogic, you'll be aware that as it goes yellow here, it's started to process. And we can follow this. Okay, we can see how many documents we've read from Workday. And as this goes through, we can see how it's been processed for the CSV and been prepared to upload into Anaplan. So I'll skip ahead to the point where this finishes. Okay, we can see that this is completed. You can see that we had 739 records here to deal with, and we've written one file up to Anaplan. So it's as simple as that, reading and writing to Anaplan, taking the data from Workday in this example as well. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me directly or get in touch through your Customer Success Manager. I'm John Landells for Snaplogic, and this has been a demo of Anaplan. Thank you very much.